Hey guys, today I'm going to be building in Minecraft with the worst blocks in the game. Now, to figure out what these blocks were, I asked a bunch of people I know what they thought. And after compiling a full list, I'm going to be using all of the blocks that people said. I need to figure out what blocks would go well together, so I'm going to kind of grab these purples. And let's kind of start making a little bit of a color palettes. Those ones kind of go together, vaguely. Oh, also I should mention why I have these in my inventory, these items, is because some of these have other variants, like this. Now, as far as some of these go, I couldn't just, like, strip this, but these are the same block, just in a different shape, so I'm counting that under brick. I kind of have a weird way of thinking about color palettes, but if I grab all these, well, this is a different color scheme. You can see that also fades to that. Let's see what comes out with some of these colors. Something otherworldly could look kind of cool. Okay, I'm getting some ideas for what I'm gonna do. So I think I want to start with not that, but this, and this. So let's quickly lay out like an area. It doesn't look great, so we kind of want to bring up into little areas around the edges, I'm thinking. And as we kind of go up those, we're going to kind of mix in some diorite. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. For what materials we're using, obviously. Like, normally this wouldn't. So we're going to pause on that part of the landscape for a bit. And I have an idea of how to use these, because I think like the best way to make that look is something that looks very alien, like some kind of alien plant or crystal that's growing over there. And same with over here, because we kind of want to tie the whole area in together. This is where it gets tricky, because a lot of it's this like super colorful stuff, which is a little harder to work with. I'm thinking something circular could look quite appealing in this setting. Get a little splash of color. We are going to fill the inside with this. This is going to be our ground material. Okay, I do need to figure out what the outside of this building's going to be, though, which is something I was worried about. There are no like great options except gravel, honestly, so I think we're gonna have to build this out of gravel. So now we can go around the outer edge of the top. Let's place in some gravel just as a building block here. Gravel's not great to work with, but it'll have to do. I'm going to be making another tower, but this one's a little bit more slender. I'm thinking I'm going to make this almost like the water tank area. Let's go check off what blocks we've done now. Because we've been able to get, we'll put one right there just to mark that I've done that part, but not the rest. We've done all of these. So we're really down to the terracottas and birch log, which are some of the hard ones. Now, these can look cool, and I've kind of saved these because I had an idea for these, and we're going to see if it works. We are essentially going to try and make a neon sign, and that's a good way to make a feature out of all of those. So my plan with this area is I'm going to bring out the canopy a bit. Honestly, the brick and terracotta are really tying it together. They're kind of the MVPs here. I'm going to build a little bit of like a little spire. Now, the observant among you might have noticed that I haven't gotten every block yet. There's a number I'm still missing, because I got this one. We went with these two, so that whole column's done now. But we have a few more. Specifically this one, this one, this one, and the cobweb. Now, these are the ones I didn't have as much of an idea for when I started this. So I'm going to need to think of something right now. We're just going to go up like this. I think this is our best bad. But this is going to be a little smokestack. I feel like most people have seen this smoke design before. So I don't think that's like anything revolutionary. So over here, I'm gonna make a tree, because that kind of can fill in that side a little bit. Now, one thing I want to try, and I don't know if this is gonna look good, is trying to add some arrow blocks to the underside. Which could look nice from far away. I think it actually does, because it gives a little bit of shading. And while it hurts my eyes a little bit, that is it. This is the completed product. And just for good measure, we are going to check off everything we've used. Because we've used this now, we've used that, and we've used both of these. So officially, I've used all of the worst blocks in the game. One thing I think we should talk about is, what were the worst blocks to build with? What were the just most evil ones? And I feel like we should talk about like the top 3 for a moment. Now, this one I hate. I always have. I'm not counting this on my top list because it was the one I personally put in here, and I would put that at the top if that was an option. But we're not going to count that because I'm not going to use my own thing. So I actually think some of the hardest ones to do. Sponge was really rough. Now, Sponge was made easier by having Endstone, honestly, just something it would match with. Some of the harder ones I feel like actually was this, because it's such an unusual pattern and it's not bright enough to make something like this out of it. So I feel like that was really rough. Diamonds are so bright, and then these are so colorful too, they're kind of problematic. These were pretty easy because I was able to work them into the leaves. Diorite has its uses, there's just not many. But I feel like these are the top 4. Now, one of these isn't making it into the top 3, and I think it's easy to tell. Lapis, I used a good amount. I think Lapis is actually great as its uses. But I think, honestly, the easiest one of these to build with, because you can use it as a details, is Diamond. Like, it was pretty easy just to match it with another colorful block and just make a little trim, just a little bit in there. And just a little splash of diamond I don't think is bad in a build. Now, these two. Oh boy, these two. Now, I think this is actually going to be a surprising one. I actually think Sponge is easier than this one. This is the worst. Out of all of these other ones I had to work with, this was the worst. So, thanks Doombomb for making me work with that one. I mean, all I could really do with that was just make the path. Thank you all for watching. And I'll see you guys in a future Minecraft video. Who knows, maybe I'll build with like actually good blocks next time. Who knows, maybe not. Maybe I'll do it worse. I'll build something completely out of arrow block. No, actually, I would never do that. That's too far. That crosses a line. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you guys in a future video. Bye everyone.